Hello, my name is SAJJAD and today I've come at Grover Mills Pond, a site which is known not for its scenic view but for something that happened in history, and that also not so long ago, because it's only been 86 years since the incident happened. And the incident was also something very unique to basically human history, because this was the site, not the pond, but this area over here was the site where Martians landed in America. On October 30, 1938, people were listening to the radio, just having their dinner and spending their time with the family, when they heard something unusual going on the radio, and they were like, okay, what's going on. It caused panic among the people. Many people tried to flood the country. Many people tried to just go and see what's going on. So I think it was deemed as the biggest media manipulation in history, even though it was a show presented for people in people's entertainment, but it was definitely not received the way it was intended to be. And then many people came here to this land. Back in the time, it used to be just fields, and there were no houses here. So there used to be a water tank nearby, which people thought might be a Martian spacecraft. But unfortunately that wasn't the case. So and that was the only not only, but one of the famous casualties of that time, because again many people died that day. Many people lost their lives in accidents, or because it was just chaos. So but when people came here, they saw the water tank, they started shooting at it, and then that was I think the most famous casualty in this area. But right behind me is the monument for Martian landing site, and you can see how there's the broadcast is going on, and people are panicking in their home, because again it was a radio show. There wasn't TVs available or a proper source of information where people can validate the news they heard. Even over here, you can see on the evening of October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles and the Mercury Theatre presented a dramatization of H.G. Wells' The War of the World, and as adopted by Howard Koch. This was to become a landmark in broadcast history, provoking continuing thought about media responsibility, social psychology, and civil defense. For a brief time, as many as 1 million people throughout the country believed that Martian had invaded the earth, beginning with Grover Mill, New Jersey. So this site definitely proves one thing, that New Jersey is not the armpit of America as deemed by many. And there's this thing goes around that there is nothing fun in New Jersey, but as I have traveled throughout New Jersey, I find out that any important thing, any major event in America happened here in New Jersey, and this is the benchmark of it, that even the Martians picked New Jersey to land here. Even if it was just for the broadcast, but it definitely makes New Jersey special. The surrounding area right now, you can see the water. It's not usually like this, because last time when I came here for my vlog, I came here I think over a year ago. That time I was recording it in Urdu/Hindi, so that time it wasn't like this. It was nice and green. But since it rained, the storm Debbie just passed, so because of that I think we have this condition. But it's a good picnic spot. You can actually come here and spend time, maybe do fishing here. So that's the history of this area. However, for the water tank, that was the biggest casualty of that time, or the popular casualty. Unfortunately we cannot see it today because the trees have grown around it, and it's actually right behind a house, so it's in their property now. Back in the time it was just open field, so I have to go to the historic society. They have something similar there, so I'm just gonna go there and show you guys how the water tank used to look like. But one thing when you notice here, this area is very celebrated, that if you come through the parking lot, they have different signs here, which provides you the information of what happened that time. Starting with this one, it just says that about 6 million people are believed to heard the broadcast, and there have been conflicting ideas about the number of people who actually panicked. The front page of New York Times of the following day had taken war drama as fact. The front page of the New York Times on the following day had the story of the broadcast with the headline, "Radio listeners in a panic." Basically, thousands of people, called the police, newspaper, and the radio stations in New York and other cities and in America and Canada. seeking advice on protective measures. In Newark, in a single block at Haddon Terrace, more than 20 families rushed out of their houses with the wet blankets on their face in order to escape the invasion. In Indianapolis, a woman ran into a church screaming, "New York is destroyed. It's the end of the world. You might as well go home to die. I just heard it on the radio." Services were dismissed immediately. So it just shows that how media can influence people in different ways. But that was the biggest media manipulation, even though that wasn't the intent of this whole thing. It was just meant to entertain people. Let's go and see what information we have over here. But as we walk into the park, I'm going the opposite way. You can see these boards, and you can get some information about the area and regarding the Martian invasion. So basically, it's just these are some quotes from the broadcast. And after reading these quotes, you can definitely tell what happened that day. So I'm just going to read through the Grover's Mill Reporter. So the quote from Grover Mill Reporter says, "Good heavens, something wiggling out of the shadow like a gray snake. Now it's another one and another. They look like tentacles to me. There, I can see the thing's body. It's large as a bear, and it glistens like wet leather. But that face, ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. The eyes are black and gleam like a serpent. The mouth is V-shaped with saliva dripping from its rimless lips that seems to quiver and pulsate." A Princeton professor describing the Martian weapon. "For want of a better term, I shall refer to the mysterious weapon as a heat ray. It's all too evident that these creatures have scientific knowledge far in advance of our own." And the last one stated here says, "I have been requested by the governor of New Jersey to place the counties of Mercer and Middlesex as far west as Princeton and east to Jamesburg under martial law. 4 companies of state militia are proceeding from Trenton to Grover's Mill and will aid in the evacuation of homes within the range of military operation." So this just shows that they try to make it as realistic as possible, but again, it's the way they put it. Even when I was reading the quotes, you can definitely tell that the intention was to scare the people, and the people did get scared, and there was panic, chaos, a lot of lives were lost. But this was the broadcast basically. So once you start coming out this way, you can see all these boards here, and it's just a very historical location, just to see what could happen, what can go wrong if media is not used correctly and people are misinformed, because not everybody will think the same way. People, there will be people who will think that whatever information is being given to them is accurate. They don't want to do their own research. They don't want to use their common sense or use their mind to investigate, to see what's going on around them, but just to believe whatever is being told. And yeah, so let's see what this one says, and then I'm gonna go to the Historic Society location, and I'm gonna show you the water tank that was basically that is similar to the one that's behind the houses over there on the other side of these trees. So yeah, and then I think that would be the conclusion of this video. So according to this one, the broadcast was 1 hour long and consisted of multiple news bulletins which interrupted Raymond Ricallo and his orchestra playing smooth jazz. The skit involved on the scene reporter and scientific authorities who reported on the event occurring as the Martian capsule landed in Grover Mill. The Martians attacked and destroyed the New Jersey state militia, and then they attacked other cities throughout the country, including New York City. The last portion of the broadcast was a monologue by Wells explaining that the Martians had been killed by a pathogen. To end the show, Wells went back to his normal persona and announced that the show was a Halloween joke. Basically, here they're explaining that it was a joke, it was a prank, the worst prank in history. Why am I going in this direction? I should be going in the other one. But yeah, so it was a Halloween joke, and they did scare the people, but at what cost? Many lives were lost, panic was created, but again, it definitely proved as a benchmark that people can be manipulated easily. So I'm just gonna go to the car, and I see you guys when I reach the Historic Society, when where the water tower is. So finally I've arrived at the location of the water tower, which is similar to the one that took the most casualty, or the most that was the most prominent casualty of Martian landing. But before we go and look at it closely, I would just like to mention that this is the site of Shanks Farmstead Historic Site. Basically it's the oldest West Windsor farmstead. So they basically just explains like how many families purchased it before the township of West Windsor finally took it over and opened it up to public in 2002 and dedicated the property to a museum in 2013. But over here you can see a lot of farming equipment, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a closer look at these because definitely they look older. So I'm pretty sure there would be some timeline of when it was used. So this is centrifugal bullet trap. It was used between 1930 to 1940. What do we have here? So this is field disc used in 1885. Let's see what we have here. So it is also a field disc used in 1885, and you can see the name of the people who donated these. Then we have spike tooth harrow. They don't have a timeline for this one. Then 1900 spring tooth harrow. So this is a spike tooth harrow, and then this is a spring tooth harrow. Let's see what we have here. 1887 John Deere 2 bottom plow. So this is a plow, mechanical plow, not a regular one. I missed this one. This is also a 2 bottom plow, but you can see this one is missing the tires, whereas this one still have them. Let's go and see what we have back here. There's a lot of stuff here. But 1911 sickle bar mower. I think it's the same thing. They don't have a name for this thing right here. What we have here is 1930 plant setter. So this is a plant setter. There's a drum in the back, and then 1850 one row potato planter. So this was used to plant potato. I don't know how it was used, but definitely seems interesting. Then 1920 corn planter. So I think it would just plant the seeds, I guess. 1911 sickle bar mower, similar to I think that one, but you can see this one is bigger and different design. The wheels are very different than that one. And 1887 dump rack. This is 1903 hay side delivery rack or rake, maybe if that's the way to pronounce it. What we have here, 1930 hay side delivery rake or rack. So I think it's a similar thing, but this one is with tires, and this one, wait, even the tires are a little different. So that's 1930, and this one is 1903. Oh, okay, so this is an older model than that one. And let's see what we have here. So 1940 manure spreader. So actually this is the one used to spread the manure, basically cow shit. So this was used to spread it on the field. This one is 1930 hand push roller, and 1935 horse pulled field cultivator. And this looks pretty modern. It's a motor. They don't have any information over here. Actually they do. 935 belt driven grinding wheel. So this is road grader. No timeline on this one. So it's pretty amazing. I would have gone into the museum today, but since it's pretty early, you can see the sun is still coming up. I think it's like 9:30 already. So I think I might have to come back to see the museum from inside, but outside they have these interesting equipments used in farming. Now let's just go and see the water tank we came here for. So this was the design of the water tank that was present at the Martian landing site and people started shooting at. I would have showed you water tank that was present there, but again it was behind the trees and basically covered by the trees, and it's on somebody else's property. So I would say this is the best location to come and look at it, but many people thought that this was the spaceship. This was the design of that water tank. Similar design, same thing, and they started shooting at it. But it just shows that how media manipulation can lead people to do some stupid stuff. But it's a very prominent location, I would say, to come and experience the history once happened in New Jersey. Because again, many people don't know about these things, and I think it's better to just show them the locations, that show them how people have been fooled by the media in past, and they are being continuously being fooled by them, by the media, I would say. So I guess this would be the conclusion of my video, and it's very important that we learn from history and not just heed into what what information we are being provided. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, make sure you like the video and share it and subscribe to the channel. So that's it for today. I hope you liked it, and I see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care. Thank you very much.